All right, good morning. Appreciate your time. I know it's difficult sometimes to hit a certain meeting with our busy schedules, so I thought I'd put this video together that you could watch that would just help out in understanding what's the next steps for becoming a real estate agent. So, to that end, let's go ahead and get started. The first question after about 10 or 15 years of helping new agents get started is, how do I become an agent? And first, you have to do state licensing. You sign up for a state approved course. It's about $400 and 60 hours worth of coursework. You take a class test, and when you pass that class test, you then take a state exam. After the state exam and you pass it, there'll be criminal background checks, state licensing fees, education and research fees, all to the state. At that time is where the biggest expense comes in. It typically runs $1,200 to $1,500 for the, in our case, the Huntsville Area Association of Realtor, but whatever your local realtor board is. And this gives you access to the MLS, lock boxes. It's just what helps you show homes and do your work. And that's the largest expense you have. Additionally, in the next 6 months, you'll do a post-license course that typically runs around $200. So all this is pretty expensive, and you are now a licensed realtor, which means you're licensed by the state to be a licensed salesperson, and then you are a member of the realtor board, therefore you're a realtor. That's sort of the traditional path. It's $2,000 roughly, and that's before you close your first deal. At the very end of this presentation, we're going to discuss a way to offset that. The way that we would offset that is that we've built a method that basically gets you started doing real estate for around $500. We're able to get the class price much lower, and we also partnered with the leading school online in the state of Alabama that has the highest pass rate that we could find, because we want you to get licensed, and then we wholesaled the class at 40% off. So we're not trying to make money off the class. We're trying to get agents to sign up and come work for Carnival. Just as a note, we said that the total price is about $2,000 to become a realtor. Say a first sale of $320,000 home, which right now the average is around $390 in Huntsville. But at $320,000, you'd gross $9,600 on your commission check. The net would be around $8,100, and that's after your mentor fees, your $500 fee to the company. And of course, different companies would have different fee structures. You should have already seen a short 2-minute video on that. If not, I recommend you watch it, but ours is one of the most competitive out there. And it's just $189 to get started on that course if you take it through us. Otherwise, you can take it anywhere you want online, anybody you find, or in person here locally in Huntsville. So how do you make money? Well, once you're licensed, you'll begin trying to target various people you know, your sphere of influence, turn those into leads. Those leads turn into opportunities, and a small portion of those work out as deals. You find a person, a client, a customer, a family willing to pursue buying a home with you, and you start showing them homes, and they find that right home, and you put in an offer, and in our busy market that may be multiple offers. And then you go through and do all your inspections. You work through that 30-ish day window to finish lending, do your home inspections, final walkthroughs, all the things associated with the closing of the sale, and you finally close on their home. And they take the check then that you would get at the closing attorney's office, and you give that to the real estate company you work for. That real estate company then takes your paperwork and makes sure it's correct, and they keep a small portion or maybe a large portion of the money that you've made, and you get the rest. So that is what we call the commission split, or the split in real estate. So what do new agents care about? I believe in the years I've been doing this is the order of the 4 things they want. First, it's the leads, that you need a lead and you don't care what your split is, because 100% of nothing is nothing. So you want help getting leads and building your pipeline. Next, you want coaching and training. And then finally, third, you care about what the split is. Fourth is technology. You always want to grow. But 1, 2, and 3 flip over time. As you become experienced in real estate, number 3 becomes the most important. You start caring about your splits because you already have a pipeline and you know what you're doing. So 1, 2, and 3 reverse. So how do leads work? Well, let's talk about leads and building a pipeline, the first thing that you probably care about. Basically, through online advertising, as well as paying for leads through various companies, a company or a individual agent gets those leads, they funnel into a website, sort of like you've probably seen on Zillow. As people start searching for a home, at some point they sign up, and when they sign up, their information goes to a back-end CRM, client resource management tool, or customer resource management tool. And then the system, if it's a good one, somehow filters to make sure that they're not bogus leads. Then those leads are round-robined to various agents at the company. And you get to call and reach out and try to win those leads and make money off of it. So second, we talked about learning and coaching and mentoring being your second most important thing. So let's talk about that. At Carnival, we have a boot camp, which is a 10 to 12 week, 2 hours per week class that we do. The boot camp is really aimed towards everything as an agent that you need to know to go from finding a client and marketing all the way through a closing. So it teaches you paperwork, it teaches you sales techniques, it teaches you CRMs and how to handle those, all about the numbers. And I'm not going to read everything on here, but you can see the list of things that we cover. We also have agent masterminds where agents get together and bring up questions. It's sort of like a question and answer session to get to know other agents that you work with. And finally, you get assigned a mentor that for your first 2 purchases and your first 2 sales, that mentor works with you on your deal and they help you make sure you know what you're doing. And that does cost some money. There is fees associated with that because we need to get trained agents willing to help you as you go along, but they're not super crazy expensive. And this is just, again, a benefit to get you through those first few deals. Some companies do this for a full year. They charge those fees. We only do it for the first 2 buys and sells until you're comfortable to do this on your own. So as a note, boot camp is required for all new agents. All right, the split. You should have seen a video, a little 2-minute one that was sent in an email or text to you. If you have not seen that, I recommend to go back and watch that. It really explains how you get paid and the different types of splits, like a 70-30 or an 80-20 or a keep 100% of your commission, which is not keep 100%. It's a graduated fee. So that's an incorrect wording that you see quite commonly, or ours, which is a flat $500 fee per deal. So let's discuss those and briefly, because really you need to go back and watch this, but the high level is, let's say you sold 20 homes at $400,000, which is right close to the average sales price in Huntsville when I made this video. And you could sort of see a 70-30 there on your left all the way to the flat 500. A keep 100% is closer to a 90-10 split, whereas mine is closer to a 95-5 split. On doing 20 deals, you can see what you would make, $168,000 to $230,000, and you can see in the green bar what you would save if you were at Carnival. So a company that offered you 70-30, you would make $60,000 more a year, and that includes fees. All of this was plugged in with fees. At 80-20, $36,000, a keep 100%, around $12,000 more in savings. And that's quite a bit of money when those things add up. So I do recommend you understand the different companies and how they pay and what their splits are, as well as those sneaky fees. And I think we have the best commission structure I've seen. I really want to be able to provide good splits for agents. A question I get a lot is, how are you so competitive? And basically it's pretty straightforward. We use a lot of processes, a lot of technology to make things repeatable. And then also, I don't have a big fancy building. Most agents don't go into an office where many of you are part-time, or if you're full-time, you work on your own time and where you go and meet your own clients and show homes. So you don't need a big fancy office. And therefore, that keeps my overhead down and allows me to pass more of the commission to you. However, we do have a network of places that you could use for a meeting site that I have set up. So if you need a meeting with a client at somewhere that's nice, we can do that too and accommodate. It's just we don't have a building that we go to at this point, because I want you to have more of the commission. That's sort of the goal in my company. So that is how we are so competitive, is we really focus on you and getting you the most money. So as we wrap up, just go over again the Carnival difference. We are $500 per transaction, whether it's a $1 million house or a $120,000 house, which in Huntsville, there's not many of those at all. We do charge a $150 a month fee, and that is all of the fees that we charge. That covers, and this is just some of the things, but that covers your E&O insurance, lockbox usage, signs, business cards, being able to come in and all the tools that we use in technology. All of that goes towards those things. Part-time is encouraged and fine with us. Most of us are part-time. We're a very high-tech company. If you do not like technology, or at least learning about technology, then my company may not be the company for you. We also provide coaching and mentoring, and we do provide leads as well. Well, that $150 a month fee, sometimes people think, oh man, I got to pay more fees. Well, I do have a guarantee, 100% money back. What is that guarantee? The guarantee is this, that if you do the following things, you attend all the coaching and training sessions, you attend the New Agent Boot Camp in its entirety, you go to all the Carnival Connects agent masterminds, and you meet with your mentor as they ask you to, and you do your agent initiatives, which are basically assignments given to you to help you grow your business, like calling people and meeting folks and telling them about what you do. If you will do those things and you don't close 5 transactions in your first 12 months, then we will refund your monthly fees in their entirety, no questions asked. And that's how, through all of the training that I've done, I really feel that we can help you sell real estate. So at the very beginning, I said that we would show you how to offset that $2,000, because that is quite a bit of money. So you'll remember that little arrow that showed the $2,000 and how about that's what it costs to get into real estate. And so that typical method is you join Carnival or a real estate company, and you pay that money to the Huntsville Area Association of Realtor or a Realtor board. And once you've paid that money, you're able to go show homes. Well, here's the second way of doing it, how we can offset that and keep it around $500 initially. I have a sister real estate company you join that is not a member of the Huntsville Area Association of Realtors. Since they are not a member of the Huntsville Area Association of Realtors, you do not pay that $1,200 to $1,500. So you pay nothing. Instead, because you're now licensed by the state, you start trying to find some clients. And once you find a client to work for you, now have 2 options. Your first option, if you know it's a solid client, would be to go ahead and pay that fee. And first we're going to look at it as a $230,000 home. Let's use that for our numbers. Now realize that the average was around $390,000. So that option 1, if they're really solid, you feel like they're going to buy and close in 30 days or 60 days, then you might go ahead and pay that $1,500 so you can show the homes. And you've been able to take the time in between to find the client without having to pay that initially. So now you've paid it. When it closes in 30 days, you now make $5,400 on a $230,000 house, which is obviously way more than the $2,000 you've invested, so you've now made money. Option B, let's just say you found a client, but you're not really sure. They don't seem very solid. Or it's just still a lot to spend the $1,200 or $1,500. Not a problem. You get a mentor. Remember we talked about that. Well, you can refer the client to your mentor will work that deal for you, and you get to basically tag along, help do paperwork. It counts towards one of your mentor deals. You get to learn everything on it, and they pass you a referral fee of 30%. That's around $2,070 in our example home. Well, that's great news because it costs you $2,000 to become an agent. So that basically covers all your expenses, and you haven't really paid for anything beyond that $500 for the state fees and the online courses out of pocket for $500. And so then you can pay your dues, and you're now licensed and ready to go. So that's sort of a quick wrap up of what we're showing you today. And just as another benefit, if you stick with Carnival and do your first transaction with us, I'll also reimburse you the $189 it costs to get your classes done. So once you have your first closing, I'll pay you back the $189 to get your classes. And so you can start today. None of the numbers I've shown you are high pressure. They'll all be here tomorrow or next week. It's not a today only deal. I'm here to find loyal agents that really want to grow and learn, and that's what we're about. And that's a 40% off for the classes we use through the CE Shop, who's the highest rated online course that I have seen in Alabama. We look at that about every year to see who currently is having the best pass rate. So the final thing I wanted to mention is another opportunity that we also can help you get licensed. If that one doesn't seem like it is for you, it's being a mortgage originator, an MLO. Also work from home, similar, but it's considerably less investment because you don't have the realtor board that costs so much. So you just basically get the course, you get the license, and then you can start doing mortgages. And you don't have to go show homes. It's less involvement per deal, but it's also less payout per deal as well. And it's less time spent per deal. So that's a little bit of a different one that I would be happy to chat with you about as well if you're interested. And you might make $500 to $2,000 per closing as a mortgage originator, which you saw the numbers as a realtor, you could be making $9,000 or $10,000 a deal. So that's just the basics on that. It is also only a 20-hour course instead of a 60-hour course. So that's $239, and I can get 35% off when I wholesale that to help you out. If you're interested in that, let me know. I would be happy to chat with that as well. So that is pretty much the other option that we have, and all about our courses. So I would just tell you, if you have any questions, please get with me. Shoot me a text or an email on one of the things I've reached out to you, and we can set up a time to talk with any final questions that you may have. And I would be happy to help, and just let me know, and we'll talk soon, I hope. Bye.